Hi there, welcome to the Avalanche Wyckoff Speculation Weekly. We're looking at the weekly chart of AVAX. So, over the past few days, we've seen a little bit of rise in price. However, this week's volume is significantly lower than the prior week. So, without getting into the details to see what other indications we can find from the charts, the disclaimer: these sessions are not these sessions are for education and research purpose only and not financial advice. However, your comments and discussions are very welcome. So back to the chart. Previously, I have drawn these orange tags. So they are tentative tags for accumulation period of, or based on the Wyckoff method. We see this accumulation period during 2024 and also 2002 to near the end of 2023. Obviously, there may be shorter ones in the earlier timeline as well. However, Avalanche was a little bit new back then, so the relevance may not be as strong as what's closer to us in terms of the timeline. So back to this current period, if I change it to the line chart, it may be simpler to look at. So this period of preliminary support, where the SC is the selling climax, that's what I have drawn based on these actions. However, selling climax doesn't always mean it's the lowest point. So if we go back to this period, we can see the automatic rally after the selling climax. However, there would be second test and further tests, and also something called a spring, where the big players basically is testing the market where there is still supply available before they trigger a massive rise in price. That's the distribution period. So currently, I've put these tentative tags over here. However, even it's close to the bottom of the long-term playground zone that I have took reference from the 2021 and 2022-23 period. So it's basically, there's still some room from this level to the bottom at around $10. So, well, if assuming AVAX is going to be there for the long term and it will continue to be successful, obviously the current price level wouldn't be too much of a loss for somebody that's buying during this period over the past 2 weeks, if they are like deciding to hodl for longer and wait for the next distribution period to happen. However, if the price does go down to the previous lows in 21, 22, and 23, that's still another 50% from the current price level. If we look at the daily chart, the price has gone outside of this downward trend already. So this blue downward playground zone, let's put it this way, basically over the past 6-7 days, given it has stayed above the top edge of the box, this playground zone becomes history and a new playground zone is being developed. So if we look at the accumulation cycle over here and also over here, it's a period that's pretty much a horizontal trading range. If I draw a box, it may be relatively easier to see. So this is pretty much horizontal rather than going with a slope like the blue box. So looking at here, if we are or we have really gone into the accumulation period, if AVAX is really in that time period, there may be a chance that a new horizontal trading zone it is starting to develop. So let's do it this way so we can all keep track of what's going to happen in the next few weeks or even months. I'll draw a horizontal box over here. So remember earlier I said the price can go lower. That's fine. We can adjust this box when needed, when things evolve. However, in order to study this, we have to leave some reference. So this sky blue box will be our tentative current breakdown zone. So one more thing here. I've drawn a center line for this white box by referencing to the peaks and these frequent trading activities in the past. So the price can test this line during this horizontal trading period. However, it may likely return and test the lows as well. So it can be quite a large range given the bottom is at around $10 and the center line is at around $27. So be very careful as the price or as AVAX trading activities further develops down the timeline. Don't get overly excited or disappointed. So that's for AVAX. I'll move